Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a matchup where time of possession will be a focus. The Raiders are top 10 in rushing yards, and they're going up against a Cowboys team that will need to keep the running game in check. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Bay Area as we welcome you to Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they've gone a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
On the return, here's a dangerous Cordero Patterson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. Derek Carr, he'll be the one leading the troops. Pro Bowl quarterback in his 4th year now out of Fresno State.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Defense showing blitz. Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's in. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Carr to throw on 2nd down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a prime.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves. Stick it in the end zone on a running play.
And that makes it 7-zip Oakland. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Now a play fake here on first down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Bryant, the man in motion right. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And able to find Dorsett. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now the rookie from San Diego State, it's Donnell Pumphrey. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And it's up and good. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. And for Crabtree from a week ago, there are the numbers. 5 catches, 71 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. They'll have a tough time.
First down, the run with Lynch. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And now the defense for Dallas.
I think most people locked in on Byron Jones when he came out of UConn at the NFL Combine, where he darn near jumped out of the stadium because of his vertical leap. But there's so much more to his game than that. Played cornerback and safety in college, and they can use that same ability to move him around in the NFL in order to create great matchups on defense for Dallas.
On second down, Lynch. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Carr, and that's complete to Walford. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Looking from the gun, it's Carr. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Shotgun now for Carr. Room here to run. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And out now come the Cowboys. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there and handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. Completes it to the rookie from North Carolina, Ryan Switzer. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's Pumphrey on the toss. And some space here. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
To throw is Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now after the play, oh man, it's Prescott who appears to be shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. Their starter forced to the locker room. And coming in, a man who had great success in college at UC. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Ohio State, Iraion Conley. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
You have to have guys who can limit the other team's number of plays run and possessions. And no better way than an interception. And what a great way to break into the league.
Time to discuss Michael Crabtree. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards, obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. David Irving in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over. But he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. Yeah. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Throwing his car on third down. It finds his target, Royal. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded just inside the 20. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Now they'll run it on the toss, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, give it to you.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The man whose father was a Cowboy, Mario Edwards Jr., in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now they'll run it on the toss. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey, and he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Now they try the right side here. And he coughed it up. And the Raiders have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So out come the Raiders. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field.
After the hand call, the line of field is reversed.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Bailey now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. start the drive with Lynch. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Shot here before half for Carr. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Crabtree the target on that one, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And that is incomplete. So we have reached halftime here. Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night. Folks eager to get right back to the action here in the 3rd quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Throwing, Hundley. This one brought in by Dorial Green-Beckham. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That goes for a gain of 31.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be back.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Marquell Lee in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down again. Marquell Lee bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Left side, it's Dorsett. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raider D, they get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Not something you see a whole lot of, a sack of Derek Carr, and due in large part to a good O-line. Carr was sacked on less than 3% of his dropbacks last year, lowest in the league.
Oakland knew it was important to take care of their quarterback. They picked up Donald Penn, Kelechi Osemele, and Rodney Hudson in recent years, and it's paid off.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Now Hundley. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
He completes it to Bryant. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding.
Offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
In motion right is Bryant. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
That's a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a 1st down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
Back now in the East Bay. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Bailey now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find...
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Jalen Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jalen Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. David Irving in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position. And
he can't get away. Carr is going to go down, and that is a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game, even with the 2 points there. But let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall right on the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the backs.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. David Irving in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And that is incomplete here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr brought in by Walford, right side. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
From the gun, it's Carr. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
False start, offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And here's motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And they're definitely showing blitz here. Carr to throw again. Here's Wolford over the middle. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The Raiders on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Carr again. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Seth Roberts, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Cowboys are able to recover. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Bryant, the man in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. The Cowboys on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. It's caught by Bryant. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Bailey now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, forget.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And now here come the Cowboys. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. but some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Roberts got it. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. To throw on third down, Carr. And that's complete to Walford. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Throwing on first down is Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On play action, it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie from Clemson, Cordray Tankersley.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Dallas, they continue to roll as as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Oakland.